Chapter 13. The Madness of Life. It was dark when Eragon jolted upright in bed. Breathing hard, the room was chilly. Goosebumps formed on his arms and shoulders. It was a few hours before dawn, the time when nothing moves and life waits for the first warm touches of sunlight. His heart pounded as a terrible premonition gripped him. It felt like a shroud lay over the world, and its darkest corner was over his room. He quietly got out of bed and dressed. With apprehension, he hurried down the hallway. Alarm shot through him when he saw the door to Garrow's room open and people clustered inside. Garrow lay peacefully on the bed. He was dressed in clean clothes, his hair had been combed back, and his face was calm. He might have been sleeping if not for the silver amulet clasped around his neck and the sprig of dried hemlock on his chest, the last gifts from the living to the dead. Katrina stood next to the bed, face pale and eyes downcast. He heard her whisper, "I had hoped to call him father one day." Call him father, he thought bitterly, a right even I don't have. He felt like a ghost, drained of all vitality. Everything was insubstantial, except for Garrow's face. Tears flooded Eragon's cheeks. He stood there, shoulders shaking, but did not cry out. Mother, aunt, uncle, he had lost them all. The weight of his grief was crushing, a monstrous force that left him tottering. Someone led him back to his room, uttering consolations. He fell on the bed, wrapped his arms around his head, and sobbed convulsively. He felt Saphira contact him, but he pushed her aside and let himself be swept away by sorrow. He could not accept that Garrow was gone. If he did, what was left to believe in? Only a merciless, uncaring world that snuffed lives like candles before a wind. Frustrated and terrified, he turned his tear-dampened face toward the heavens and shouted, "What god would do this? Show yourself!" He heard people running to his room, but no answer came from above. He didn't deserve this! Comforting hands touched him, and he was aware of Elaine sitting next to him. She held him as he cried, and eventually, exhausted, he slipped unwillingly into sleep.